Hey everybody, this is Mr. Sparrowhawk. I'm going to take you through a quick put your trumpet together and slight bit on general maintenance as well. So the first thing you want to do is make sure that you have your case before you open it up. You always want to have it sitting in the position where you're supposed to open it up, and that is you have to look for your label. Put that up on top, okay, and then set it. You could set it in your lap or on a table in front of you. I'll put mine in my lap right here. When you set it with the label up, your handle will be on the bottom half of it when you open the latches. The latches will usually open when you pull up, and then it'll kind of fall down in that down position, or it may be one of those other kind of straps that just has one piece that comes up. Sometimes they go down, but usually those go up. So it opens, and then you'll see that the top piece with the label is what opens up, right? And I discourage people from opening it in any other position because the case is molded to your instrument, and if you open it sideways and then maybe try to reclose it and it closes on the molding, it could squish your trumpet, and you don't want to do that. So you set it down, you use your hands to open. You have two pieces in your trumpet case. You have the trumpet itself, which comes right out. It only fits in the case one way, so when you're putting it back in, you have to put it back in the same way. And the lead pipe, which is where the mouthpiece, where the mouthpiece goes, will not be underneath. It'll be on top, sticking up like this. You never want to set it down on the lead pipe when you're putting it down. Set it down this way. If it gets a crack in it, if you have your mouthpiece in it and you're banging on the mouthpiece, it could cause you not to be able to play at all. So when you get a crack or a hole or anything in this lead pipe, it doesn't play, and then you have to send it in and get it repaired. If it gets a crack, somewhere else, you can still, play some things, and it doesn't look pretty, but it still functions. But if it's anything before it hits these valves, then it's going to give you some issues. Okay. So any of the pipes leading up to that. Okay, so that's why it's called the lead pipe, by the way. So you take your mouthpiece, the other piece that you have in your case, and make sure that you sort of gently set it in there. You're not going to jam it in. You're going to set it in until it stops. And then what you want to do is give it a little twist while pushing, just a little slight twist. And that should cause it to not come out. But notice I hold my hand because I don't want to drop it. Okay, and that's how you put it together. And you can close your case. It's always good to keep the latch closed, but however you do, if you have room. You can see also that because these are district-owned instruments that many of you have, the handle is broken off of my case. I broke one of the straps off of my case this morning just trying to open it up because these are old and inexpensive. So if that happens, don't worry too much about it, but just do be gentle with them, and don't be too rough with them, okay? So now it's put together, and of course what you need to remember about holding it is that your left hand is going to grab around your what we call the valve casings. Okay, the valves are the buttons themselves, and the cases are the things down below them that are surrounding. There's something that goes down inside there that's attached to these. Okay, so that's the case of the valve itself. Okay, and so there you may have a ring here that your ring finger would go in. Your thumb kind of goes in this little cradle here, and then your right hand is what operates the keys. So you're going to hook your left thumb underneath, right pinky on this little hook, and then you're going to try to point your fingers when you're playing. You don't want to use flat fingers. It's a little bit harder on your wrists. That's a good idea for recorder, of course, because it covers the holes better, or clarinet or something. But for trumpet and some other instruments, you're going to want to curl your fingers, and then they're pointing down, okay? And you'll also find that helps a little bit, because sometimes valves can be particular, and they might be sticky at different times, and especially when the weather changes and things. You can put valve oil in them, but I'm going to put up a video for how to do that first, and so don't do that just yet. But it's good to know that also, when you're pushing them down this way, the force goes in diagonally, and it will scrape against the wall. And if it's going to be a little sticky, then that's going to cause it to stick more often. Okay, and if you're doing this, then even a slightly sticky valve won't stick as often, okay? So it's always good to keep them curled. Plus it's better ergonomically, which means it's the way your fingers are meant to work. And even if you play piano, you're taught to curl your fingers because it's just more healthy for your wrist, and stronger for playing. Okay, so the same is true on these. It's the same type of motion. Okay, so that's how you put it together. Remember that when you take it apart, you're doing exactly the opposite. So I'm going to set this down not on the lead pipe, right? You don't want the weight of the instrument on that. And then I'm going to pick up my case, put it in my lap, open it up, get it ready, and then when I take it apart, I do exactly the opposite, twist and pull, comes right out. You want to put that in the hole that it goes, and then of course turn the lead pipe up, and then it should fit in the molding that way, okay? All right, good luck everyone. I will put a new one up for playing your first notes soon, okay? Thanks.